Max's Garage. Today we're out here doing a little work on Steven's Avalanche. And last year, the top plastics, we did a whole video on the Cerakote. And even at the end of almost a year, it was about 9 months of the car being outside in the weather, how that Cerakote held up, and it held up really well. So we have the lower plastics now, and what we're going to do here, we're going to do his back bumper and his front bumper, and we're going to try to bring them back to a nice dark gray black, like they should be. However, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do Cerakote on the front bumper because that'll get the most abuse, and we know that that's going to last pretty much a year, even longer. And then we're going to try on the back bumper that has the best chance of survival on something cheaper, or a cheaper option. We're going to try the Meguiar's Ultimate Black. I don't know why, but we just figure we give it a shot. Not really sure why, because we know the Cerakote works. It works really well. This, we have no idea. So I'm going to do it on the back bumper and take you for the ride. So it pretty much goes on like a wax almost. They say use an applicator pad or a microfiber towel, shake it really well, apply it, and then wipe off or buff off any excess. I don't know if it gets your hands dirty. I'm going to wear gloves. You can see very faded trim here. This part was done with Cerakote, and it's held up really well. This part down here is like a completely different shade of light gray, faded, and we'll give it a shot. All right, so I gave this a good, I don't know, 2-minute shake. The bumper itself has been washed the other day. Robbie washed the truck, so I just took another microfiber just now and just wiped it down. We haven't used the truck, so it's just any dust or anything from being outside. And I'm going to take this, and it looks like it's white. So they said apply it with an applicator pad or a towel. I'm going for the towel because I'm afraid that the pad won't let me get in to the spots that I need to get into. So it says wipe it on. And then buff off the excess. And it said heavily weathered plastics may need 2 or 3 applications. So this is definitely changing the color, but not like the Cerakote did. There's not a night. I mean, there's a difference, but not a difference like the Cerakote, which just, immediately brought it back to the dark, but it is working. Now they claim the internet claims that this is this is just a dressing, and that the Cerakote actually treated the plastic. And that's why the Cerakote lasts and this doesn't last. But if this was merely just a dressing, I think 1 application would be all that you would need, because it's dressing. Because it severely weathered plastic, it can't do that. Maybe it's not just a dressing. I don't know. But you could see it's definitely improving. However, it's going to need probably a second application. So I guess I'm going to put it on like this, let it dry, buff it off with a clean one, and then see on a second application. So I'm going to just keep going like this. You can follow along for a little bit and see what you think. 20 minutes into it, it's actually going really well. This has become a giant wipe because it's just soaked in every side of it. You are using a decent amount of the product. But it's doing its job, and it seems to be soaking in as you go. So here's a completely untreated gray part, and I just did the other side, so we're on the home stretch here. But you can see, you gotta like massage it in, and I'm not using really any pressure, just a light pressure. And I'm just rubbing it in, almost like suntan lotion. Now, I still feel like this is a dressing. However, it is definitely being absorbed by the panel, not just going on top, because you need to massage it in to all the grains and everything for it to start doing its thing. It doesn't immediately turn everything black. Even if it is a dressing, if it does what it's supposed to do and doesn't wash off in a month, and it's not greasy to the touch after it all dries, I'm okay with that, because it definitely looks really good when it's all done. So let me get this panel done, and I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like and whether it's greasy to the touch or not. I am using here a little trim tool just to get these areas here that are in between the body, so I don't get it all over the paint. Just like that. All right, so about an hour later, big difference. There are some, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I do have a couple of light spots now that it's all dry, but huge difference. It really does look good. Easy to put on, similar to putting wax on but not having to rub it off. Light pressure on the rag, really looks good. Now, it is not greasy at all to the touch, so it doesn't feel like there's any dressing on it. Just a couple light spots, and I think it was because the back here was that bad. It really was. But really looks good. So I think what I'm going to do is I will go over it once again before he goes back to school. I might not do it today, but I will put a another light coat. It's probably not going to take much at all, just to put another coating on it to get those couple little light spots taken care of, so it's nice and uniform. And then he'll go back to school, and we'll have our torture test for the next 9 months. Now we have the front bumper. You can see here the difference. Front bumper is a light gray. It's got some real bad lighter speckles in it. This bumper is clean. Been pretty much washed the same way. And we're gonna go with this one. We're gonna do the Cerakote. So we have the Cerakote ceramic trim wipes. We've used these before, and we're going to do this on the front bumper so that we can have a real good comparison of the longevity and the look, front bumper to back bumper, because the cheaper or less expensive or less quality product, I put it on the back bumper to give it more of a fighting chance. It's not catching all that road debris that the front bumper does when you're driving on the highway, and when you're driving in the rain, it's not getting blasted constantly by the front. So let me set the camera up and we'll do the trim wipes. So again, the same thing. I'm going to take this microfiber and I'm just going to wipe any dust. Anything that's on the panel. Okay, I'm going to take one of the wipes. That's how big it is. And we're going to start wiping this in to the panel. I have my little trim tool so I can get up under. I guess we'll wait on that because I can't find it. All right, this definitely easier to go on because the wipe is, completely saturated. However, as the wipe dries, it does get a lot tougher to put this on. So let's use the same trim tool to get under so it doesn't look silly. It's a lot easier to do these under sections when the wipe is fully saturated. Now I don't know if they sell this in like a bottle or a tube, or where you can, instead of using the wipes, use your own rag. I think if they do, I would like to try that. And with the wipe, that's pretty much all you do. You just keep wiping until the wipe dries out. Now you can keep flipping it and moving it to get the most out of each wipe, which you should do. Because they are, it's like 20 bucks for the box. So they are pricey. Alright, so this took, I would say, less than half the time of the Meguiars. I used 4 wipes. It goes on much easier, but as the wipe dries out, it starts to get a little streaky, so then you got to go back over it with a wet wipe. I think in a jar will be much better than the wipes, especially if you have, textured rough plastic. The wipes start to shred apart. Definitely would like it in a jar, but here's the Cerakote. All right, so now we're gonna torture test it. Maybe I might decide to maybe do one side in Meguiar's, one side in Cerakote, get it all done. We'll see what the time allows for before Steven goes back to school. But we will continue this video in about 9 months. When it comes back, after being in the weather, in the sun, in the snow, in the rain, in the salt, and we'll see how the Meguiar's holds up against the Cerakote. Or we could just make this a part 1. So yeah, how about that? Stay tuned for part 2, and we'll just make part 2 a quick update on what happened 9 months later. So we'll say goodbye to this one, and We'll give the update 9 months later. Let me know, have you used either of these products? What's your experience? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.